of his eye. Sit right down, we're gonna give the scoop with Lisa Doop. Shamma-lamma ding-dong, loop-de-loop. This is the story of a guy named Mr. Boop.
You're listening to Being Mr. Boop. I hate podcasting, I hate podcasting, I hate podcasting, I hate podcasting. My name is Lisa Doop and I am Mr. Boop. It's Wednesday, August 5th, 2020, and today we're reading the 142nd ever Mr. Boop strip. In today's Mr. Boop, Betty says her famous catchphrase. Now here we see Betty Boop. Panel 1, we see Betty Boop in like an angel dress, I think. She's got angel wings and a halo. And she's handcuffed and she's doing the whoa, man, don't hurt me, like pose with her hands. And kind of doing that with her expression. She's like, she's got her hands up and she looks like she doesn't want to be there, basically. There's a camera filming her, and there appears to be clouds behind her, but this may be a clever backdrop, like a matte painting. I guess her bra has feathers on it as well. And the halo is like a cheap halo thing. Cheap halo, what do you call them? Hat, I guess. And she says, boop, boop, ba-doop. Yeah, that's my name. And it's in it's in quotation marks, and there's an electoral point after Doop. Hey, that's my name again. And then there is another special type of speech bubble called a electoral bubble. Electro bubble. And it says, and that's 4 A's, cut! And cut is in all capitals. And there are 3 electoral points afterwards. This is kind of like a, this is kind of a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type setup right here, I think. Like how in that movie they had an animated background, and then when it went to live action, it was live action. And you guys hear about that Rescue Rangers movie? It looks good. I've heard some people saying it's gonna be bad because it's a Disney movie, but I mean, Disney made Roger Rabbit, so you know, I don't know. They kind of dropped off. Speaking of Roger Rabbit, I rewatched that lately, and I noticed there's a line where Betty Boop implies she is envious of Jessica Rabbit for her relationship to Roger. I thought this was funny because it's like in Mr. Boop, I guess she's got a thing for little guys who are cartoony. Anyway, those are all the notes I wrote. In panel 2, unrelated to anything at all, but that character that looks like, that does the hand pose that Betty's dad does, is called Gendo Akari. Unrelated to anything, but in panel 2 we see a director man with a beret, a black sweater, and I guess a megaphone with the word director written on it. He's got a goatee and like a quiff. I think he's got like light hair. I don't know what color it's meant to be because it's in black and white. These comics are in black and white, by the way. And he says, "That's a wrap!" Triple electro point. "That was perfect, Betty!" Electro point. "Wow, it must be so great being Betty Boop!" Electress. "Everybody loves you!" Double electro point. Panel 3, we see Betty, a cute drawing of Betty, if I do say so myself, Mr. Robbins, artist who does this. She's looking to one side, all kind of shy and sheepishly. Lots of round shapes, like in her character design. She's got her hands knuckled together. Hands are in fists, and they're like tapping each other. Yeah. Ooh, boo, boo, boo. You can imagine she's saying something like, ooh. You know, just imagine whatever expression that is. And there's a big speech bubble next to her that says, "I would give it all up to be with my true love, Robbins, for just one more day." She loves her wife She loves her ex-husband, Betty Boop. She loves her ex-husband, Alec Robbins. Not Betty Boop, they're not married. Panel 4, the final and penultimate panel. We have the director man again, but now he's scratching his head and his eyes are like, his eyebrows are doing the DreamWorks expression, but he's not doing the DreamWorks facial expression. He's like, kind of like a confused, what's all this then? Oi, oi, oi. He's got free, what are they called? Quadruple marks, free electoral hearts above his head. And he is thinking to himself, who is Alex Robbins? And Alex Robbins is in quotation marks. And in his thought bubble, to drive home the point that he's confused, there are triple electoral hearts. This one's really funny. Nah, I'll tell you my real thought. I think this is a pretty good one to drive home the plot. It shows how Betty's feeling. And I think the drawings are good and cute. And you know what else I think? I think that you, the listener, should hear what the shadow synopsis is. Which is, director kind of looks Simpsons-y. Didn't intend for that, but he does. Sure, why not? Oh, he's got a big pointy nose, by the way. The director has a big pointy nose. Well, that kind of disrupted my flow, remembering that there was a shadow synopsis, but only leaves for me to say, you've been listening to Being Mr. Boop, or as we say here in the UK, Being Mr. Boop. You can visit the show's website at www.beingmrboop.com for our full catalogue of episodes and to sign up to host the podcast. For more updates, follow at Mr. Boop Pod on Twitter. That's twitter.com. That's TWITTER.com. You can follow me, Lisa Doop, at LisaDoop2 on twitter.com. And you can, you can do all kinds of crazy things. You could even, I don't know, get really emotionally invested in slightly obscure YouTuber. Perhaps, follow this, just find the guy with the least views you can and just get really hooked on him and then buy all his merchandise and support him on Patreon. I suggest Semi-Sweet Gaming. Thank you and good night! Welcome to the world of Mr. Robbins. Gee whiz, what a lonely guy. He had to divorce his wife, Betty Boop. She was the apple of his eye. Sit right down, we're gonna give you the scoop with Ryan Pfeiffer and Lisa Doop. Shing-a-lang-a-ding-dong, loop-de-loop. This is the story of a man who was Mr. Boop.
This podcast was brought to you by the Pitch Drop Podcast Network. Like what you just heard? Support the show by going to patreon.com/pitchdrop. And while you're at it, check out pitchdrop.net for more of this and other shows.